Most people will spend their lives kneeling to comfort, calling it humility. But you're here because something inside you refuses to be average. Before we ignite this fire, do one thing. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and smash the notification bell so you never miss the content that pushes you beyond your limits. Because today, we're not just talking about potential, we're unlocking it. Let's begin. Section 1, the comfort of conformity, is the death of potential. Observe them, the multitudes, trudging through life with their eyes dimmed, their backs bent under the weight of silent resignation. They've been lulled into believing that playing small is a virtue, that self-erasure is synonymous with goodness. From every corner of society, they've absorbed the same message. Don't stand too tall. Don't think too highly of yourself. Don't dare to shine too brightly. It's a well-crafted illusion, sold to keep the average docile and the exceptional asleep. The truth? Most people aren't broken. They're simply bound by invisible chains, forged from years of being told that ambition is arrogance. They call it humility, but often it's just fear in disguise. A fear of being seen, a fear of being judged, a fear of what might happen if they actually dared to chase the impossible. Look closer, and you'll find that the world has never lacked talent. It's drowned in it. What it lacks is belief. Not the passive kind of belief that sits and waits for change, but the fierce, roaring kind that sets the bones on fire. I've watched dreams rot in silence because their owners lacked the courage to assert, even to themselves, that they were born for more. In the words of Rengoku from Demon Slayer, life is short, but if you live with purpose and burn brightly, your flame will never go out. Most people never even strike the match. They settle, mistaking comfort for peace, and call it maturity. But there is no peace in denying your true self. The quiet despair of a life half-lived is louder than any failure could ever be. That despair stems not from lack of opportunity, but from lack of permission. Permission to believe you matter and that your story is worth writing in bold ink. To those who feel the quiet pull of something greater, don't ignore it. That whisper in your soul, the one that tells you you were meant for more, isn't delusion. It's the raw voice of your potential, buried under layers of social conditioning. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break the mold, to push boundaries, to rattle the walls of limitation until they shatter. The tragedy isn't in failing to reach greatness. It's in never having the audacity to try. Section 2. The leap into greatness begins with defiance. Every seismic shift in history, every rebellion against the status quo, every breath of progress was born from someone who chose to believe in their vision when no one else did. Not after the results came, not after the applause, but before, when the world scoffed, when doubt was loudest, when the path was nothing but fog and friction. The real war isn't out there in the marketplace or the arena. It's within. It's the quiet battle between your higher self and the programmed voices whispering, "Be realistic. Stay small. Don't stand out." Those who lose that inner war never even get the chance to fight the outer one. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of your potential. The view stretches infinitely before you. A horizon filled with things only you can build, only you can conquer. But behind you is safety. The life others have accepted, the familiar, the unimpressive. The moment you hesitate, the voice of fear grows stronger, and it will never stop unless you drown it out with something louder, conviction. As All Might once said in My Hero Academia, "It's fine now." Why? Because I am here. That's what ego does. It plants its feet on the trembling earth and says, "I belong here. I was made for this." This isn't delusion. It's not arrogance masquerading as hope. It's the foundation of greatness. Do you think Elon Musk waited for a committee to approve his dreams? That Serena Williams asked for permission to dominate? That Luffy from One Piece begged the world to accept his dream of becoming the pirate king before he set sail? No one ever transformed the world by waiting for applause. They did it by being audacious enough to believe their vision mattered, even when no one else could see it. Especially then. Your untapped greatness is a threat to systems that thrive on predictability. When you dream big, when you step out of line, you become unpredictable, unmanageable. That's why ambition is often painted as dangerous and ego is demonized. Not because they're wrong, but because they're powerful. The world doesn't want you to breathe rare air. It wants you to keep your head down and your dreams muted. But as Guts from Berserk said, if you're always worried about crushing the ants beneath you, you won't be able to walk. So walk, no, run, with purpose. What becomes possible if you silence the inner critic and embrace the wild, untamed belief that you were born to rise? Section 3. The flame they fear is the fire you need. The journey to true greatness is never congested because so few are willing to walk it. Most will bow out before it begins, not due to lack of talent, but lack of belief. It takes rare courage to stand tall when every voice around you labels your ambition as arrogance or madness. But those who endure, those who hold firm to the vision only they can see, they are the architects of new realities. The ember inside you right now, that flicker of knowing, that whisper that you were made for more. Don't smother it. Fan it. Guard it like your life depends on it. Because in a way it does. That fire isn't pride, it's purpose. It's not your burden, it's your birthright. I've watched too many promising souls dim themselves to fit the world's narrative. I've seen kings become peasants in spirit, not for lack of potential but because they gave away the one thing they needed most, conviction in their own power. And it always starts the same: doubt, then conformity, then quiet resignation. The spark dies before it ever touches flame. But not you, not this time. That feeling deep in your chest, the one that says you were never meant to be average. It's not ego in the toxic sense. It's vision, it's alignment, it's truth. As Itachi Uchiha once said, those who cannot acknowledge themselves will eventually fail. Self-denial doesn't make you noble, it makes you invisible. When you step outside this space, life will challenge that truth. The world will present you with a fork. Dim your light to soothe the fears of others, or embrace the radiance that makes them uncomfortable. This isn't about arrogance. The truly humble aren't those who make themselves small. They're the ones who know the weight of their potential and carry it with grace. Your ego, properly channeled, is not a weakness. It's the spine of your strength, the root of your growth, the origin of your evolution. You've been taught to see it as a flaw, but what if it's the very thing that will liberate you? So stand up, rise. Let them see what happens when belief refuses to break. Not because someone gave you permission, but because you decided to stop asking for it. The tragedy of a wasted life isn't in the mistakes. It's in the maybes, the what-ifs, the dreams you buried alive to make others comfortable. As Lelouch v. Britannia said in Code Geass, if the king doesn't lead, how can he expect his subordinates to follow? Your life is your kingdom. Rule it boldly. Never again apologize for the fire that scares those who still live in the cold. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. You were meant to lead yourself where few dare to go. Section 4. The price of greatness is everything. Mediocrity is the cheapest deal life offers. It asks for nothing but your resignation. No blood, no fire, no fight. To be average, all you must do is stop trying. Let go of your edge. Mute your instincts. Let the flame inside cool to ash. But greatness? That's a far more brutal bargain. It demands everything. Your comfort, your excuses, your illusions. I have witnessed empires not fall to external threats, but collapse inward. From leaders who mistook surrender for humility, who confused playing small with virtue. Let's call it by its real name. Fear, masquerading as modesty. Cowardice wearing the mask of grace. They will provoke you. They will poke at your dreams, laugh at your conviction, bait you to step down and stay quiet. Not because you're wrong, but because your fire unsettles their shadows. Don't flinch. Power isn't something handed to the obedient. It's claimed by those bold enough to believe they're worthy of it. So rise. Take that flicker of ego buried beneath years of restraint and let it erupt. Transform it into the unbreakable will to train harder, endure longer, and reach higher than anyone thought you could. As Naruto once said, I'm not gonna run away. I never go back on my word. That's my ninja way. Let that be your creed. Forward, always, no matter what. Never forget, the world doesn't yield to whispers. It kneels to roarers. It bends for those who refuse to bow. Your ego, when rooted in clarity and discipline, is not a threat to your growth. It's your compass. It guides you through chaos. Your ambition is your wind, your drive, your divine rebellion against the gravity of the ordinary. Stand tall with your heart ablaze, not because you seek validation, but because you finally see what you're capable of. Carry that belief into every hardship, every doubt, every trial. And never let the world convince you to be anyone less than everything you are. Because in the end, it's not talent that determines destiny. It's audacity, the willingness to defy limits, the resolve to own your brilliance without apology, the courage to be feared, not because you're cruel, but because you refuse to be conquered. Remember what Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho taught us. A real fighter doesn't throw in the towel. They just keep getting stronger. So get stronger, get louder, get unapologetically real. Let your greatness be your answer. Let your life be your legend.